Welcome to a new episode of Nails from A to Z. This episode is powered by Glossary Live.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Social Stars on glossarylive.com. I'm really delighted today to be talking to Chantelle, Vermont of the Clawgasmic Nail Tech Networking Community to find out all about this amazing platform that she's set up and running. So we're basically going to find out all about that today. But meanwhile, let's just say hello. Hello, Shan.
Hello, everyone. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm really pleased to be talking to you today because I know that you're going to have so much information that you're going to be sharing with us and so much that can be explored from this interview when people find out more about what you're actually doing. So I know that with your partner, Jovan, you've created this amazing network called Clawgasmic. But I think before we talk about what Clawgasmic's about, let's find out about how you've gone from nail desk to you've moved from the nail desk out into this lovely business coaching world. But how did it all start?
So I've been in the industry for 18 years and I love it. I love it. I still eat, sleep, breathe nails. I absolutely adore it. And when I was younger, my mum was a hairdresser and I always used to go with her to the nail bar and watch her having her nails done. And I remember must have been about 14, 15. And I remember saying to her nail tech, I'm going to be a nail tech one day. And she was like, oh, amazing. And then ironically, that was where I got my first job. So it was a Nails Inc. Counter in a department store in the town where I live. So I finished school. I went straight to college. I did a national diploma. So did massage, waxing, tanning, nails, pedicures, everything all together. But there was just something about the nails. Like I just knew. I remember that very first nail class. I was like, let me just do it. I just want to do it. Then when I left college, so it was a 2-year course. And then when I finished, it was actually really hard to get a job. So luckily for me, I was like, right, well, let me just go to a nail bar rather than trying to find a beauty salon, which seems to be quite hard to find. Let me find a nail bar. Went there, absolutely loved it. Must have been there for a couple of years. And then I thought, oh, do you know what? I've done all this training, with all these other things. I've got to at least give it a shot and see what it's like. So I found a salon in my town centre. It was wonderful. I've got such fond memories of there. And it was like a real sisterhood. They were my family. They were like my family, amazing. I was there for 7 years. But I remember when I started, and obviously I'm starting doing the facials and the waxing and all of it. And then I very quickly, it probably only took about 3 months. And I said to my manager, I just want to be on the nail desk. I can't do massage. I talk too much. I want to talk to people. I want to just love the release doing that creative nails stuff gives me. And I think as well, it's just, a wonderful thing that naturally the thing that you love, you end up attracting more clients in, because I think those clients could feel that from me as well. And I had some wonderful clients while I was there. So yeah, I ended up more being the nail tech. I still did some other bits, but nails was my main thing. And I was there for 7 years. And I kind of had a vision of what I was going to do after that, work-wise. And long story short, it didn't pan out. And I remember the one day that I realized that it wasn't going to work out how I had in my mind. Me and Jovan, so my partner, we've been together for 13 years. He's amazing. And so we started dating. Obviously, the whole salon was in on my dates. We met on holiday. Everyone absolutely fell in love with the story and him and everything. And I remember coming home one day and just crying to him on the phone, I really thought this was going to be my next steps. And I've pinned so much on this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And yeah, like I said, long story short, it just wasn't going to happen. And bless him, he's really into marketing. He always has been. He created me a blog. So this was years and years ago. This must have been, 2012, 2011. This is so sweet, but what am I going to do with a blog? I don't know what to do with this. So he was like, well, just do your nails, post the pictures, and just see where it goes. And I fell in love with it. I just loved blogging. So I was blogging about the nails and then still at the salon. And one day, the gorgeous Katie Jane Hughes, she's an incredible makeup artist now. She lives over in America. But I remember she emailed me and said, I found your blog. I love your work. do you want to come to London Fashion Week with me, and London Fashion Week with me, sorry, and do the model's nails? And I was like, this has got to be a scam. Like, this can't be real. People don't just message people this. So I obviously like totally stalked her online. I'm like, who is she? Oh my gosh, she's a legit human. She's an incredible, legit human. Yes, sign me up. So I messaged about, yes, please. Oh my gosh, what an incredible opportunity. I would absolutely love to. This is like a dream come true. Like, London is one of my favorite cities in the world. Obviously nails, like this is just everything. So said yes, and then went into my salon where I worked and absolutely loved the next day, not even thinking anything of it, and was like, I've been asked to do London Fashion Week. Oh my gosh, please can I have the time off? It's going to be amazing. And my manager at the time, she was incredible. And she was just like, Chantelle, we can't let you go. Like, we can't give you the time off. And I was like, oh no. So bless Jovan, he's got me in tears again. Like, what am I going to do? Like, I love my job. I love these people so much, but what an opportunity. And how am I going to get in it if I don't do it? Like, who would I even call to say, this is what I want to do? So he was like, do you know what, Chantelle, sometimes you've just got to just take that leap and just do it. And I was like, do you know what? You're right. So I handed my notice in. It was a very teary goodbye. I absolutely loved that salon. But at the time, I was the only tech there that was doing other treatments as well. Eyelash extensions were really new, really fresh. And it was only me and another girl that were doing them. So I fully understood why they couldn't offer me like unpaid leave or the time off. It wasn't something that they offered. So I left and went to London Fashion Week and met the most incredible people. And I remember being so nervous. It was so different for me coming from like my little hometown and, you know, just bubbling along happily with my routine to like being thrust into London Fashion Week and the busy, just the incredibleness of it all, the busyness, the people, the gorgeousness everywhere. But I loved it. And everyone on the team. So I worked for Butter London and Katie Jane Hughes. And we did, London Fashion Week. I ended up doing 6 seasons there. And so over the space of 3 years, the February and the September, and I just absolutely loved it. But obviously it's only 5 days. So after the first one, I was like, I've left my job and I've got no money. Like, what am I going to do? And again, I remember Jovan being like, well, why don't you try and work for yourself? This is the best time. You've got nothing to lose. You've not got to leave a job. You're not making any money. Do you know what I mean? Even if you get 1 or 2 clients in a week, it's better than the clients that you've got now because you're currently doing nothing. So, you know, let's see what we can do. So drawing out all these nail art looks, and I thought, this is my chance to bring London to Basingstoke. That's where I live, this tiny little town. I was like, we can bring the London Fashion Week looks, the nail art. I can do all that I love. I don't have to do, you know, massage and waxing. I can just focus on the things that I love and let's just run with it. So that was the beginning of that chapter for me. We found a room to rent in the back of a suntan shop and I loved it. I just loved the whole journey of it. And at the beginning stages of that, we started Clawgasmic as an Instagram page. And to be honest, I didn't really have a vision for it other than positivity. I felt like at the time, so that was, 2013, a little bit before, me and Jovan had done a couple of YouTube videos and I'd always said to him, I love that you work online and wouldn't it be cool if we could do something together? But we never really knew what that could be. So we started Clawgasmic and he was kind of doing his like marketing bits and we were like, let's just make it a positive place. So if you scroll all the way down the Instagram feed, I just posted positive pick-me-up quotes, like made them nail related. And I would do basically like highlight posts. So I would highlight a tech and I would just tag them and say, this is a tech from wherever in the world. Look at this set. They're amazing. I love them, blah, 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 blah. Tag them, post them. And they normally message back like, oh, thanks. And it was just like a positive thing. And then I would kind of post the brands that I was using and things that I was doing in the salon myself. But it didn't really have a motive at the time. And then I was doing like written interviews with some techs and posting them on the blog. But that was kind of it. It just kind of bubbled along in the background, really, while I was building and growing my salon and my clientele. And I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. I think being able to have someone walk through your door and trust you with their hands, and it's such a personal thing, you know. I always joke with, you know, my best friends and my family, when's the last time you held someone's hand for an hour and a half? You just don't do it, and these people trust you and you get to know their life and their journey. And absolutely loved it. So I was there for 7 years. And then I fell pregnant with our gorgeous little boy, Kingsley, who is just a dream. He's just the cutest little thing. And then when he was 6 months old, I was due to go back to work. And I thought, I'm going to branch out and do some masterclasses, I think, like in-person masterclasses, have events. This is going to be awesome. And then 2020 hit and we all got told to stay in our houses. And I had this gorgeous little boy and I thought, right, okay, let's just focus on mum life and just, ride the wave like everyone did. But in hindsight, it was obviously a really hard time for people, but the silver lining that came from it for us was it gave us the chance to really focus on Clawgasmic. And I think with me and Jovan, we're both so entrepreneurial. We've both got like kind of ants in our pants. We can't really sit still for too long. We love creating. We love having business conversations and like buzzy chat in the house, So that's when we were like, what can we do with Clawgasmic? So I started doing free lives on Instagram just to kind of boost morale and let my creativity out and speak to techs. And it was a lovely time to actually get to see the techs behind the Instagram pages. And then one day I came off from a live and Jovan said to me, well, where's that video gone? And I was like, what do you mean? It's gone. And he was like, what do you mean it's just gone? I was like, well, I don't know. It's just in the ether somewhere. I don't know. I just pressed stop and it's gone. And he was like, that seems like such a waste. Like, people liked it and people enjoyed it and you enjoy it. You come down buzzing from it and I can hear you giggling and you're having these incredible conversations with people and you're helping them. Like, wouldn't it be incredible? We can create an online membership site where everything's stored and saved. And I was like, do you know what? That's genius. Maybe this is the thing. This is how we're going to do this together. So he's the brains in the background. I was saying to you before we came on here, I want to get his gorgeous face out there even more because he's just lovely. But he's, super incredible with the technical side of things. He's created the whole website, the app, all of that stuff. And then I create the looks and am, I guess, kind of in the forefront. But yeah, it's our business together. We've now got just over 430 tutorials and we release new tutorials every single weekend. And it's evolved. We've got the safe space. So I know we'll talk about that a bit more later and a podcast. So yeah, now I always say it was bittersweet because I knew as soon as we started doing this, it was just incredible. And I knew that teamed in with, being a mum at the time, I couldn't do clients at the capacity I was doing it and run this online thing and do that all at the same time in the way I would have wanted to. So I don't do clients anymore. But yeah, now we're just all in on Clawgasmic.
I think incredibly risky to give up your job knowing that Fashion Week is 5 days twice a year. But look at this feel the fear, do it anyway kind of attitude you've had without even telling yourself to do it. You've basically had this happen to you and everything's been brilliant ever since. You are a living example that if you just have the courage to jump, sometimes where you land is amazing. So I'm just excited and I love and I know feeling your love of nails coming through is just really inspiring. I love to talk to people that love nails, right? And you're saying you've got over 400 tutorials on there. What else is on Clawgasmic, on that site and that community that can be, you can immerse in?
Yeah, so lots of tutorials, obviously the nail art, because I'm so passionate about that even still now. But obviously, as we all know, the foundation is key. So I always say there's no point me teaching you all this nail art if your prep isn't good, your builder's application isn't good, your foundation isn't done. So there's foundation tutorials in there as well that I update regularly when I change things or learn things or see things that are different or have trialed different products. It was really important for me as well that it wasn't brand exclusive because I just want everyone to feel included. I don't care what you use. If you love nails, come on in. And then in the last 2 months, we've released the Safe Space. So the Safe Space is basically a weekly coaching call with me. So once a week, and any member can write in a question. No question's a silly question. We just chat about it. We just hash it out because I think I loved working for myself. Like you say, I feel really grateful that I had the support from Jovan. And I know that I'm very lucky to have that and not everybody does. So hopefully we can be that for people who maybe don't feel like they have that space to be like, oh, Shan, but I'm trying to isolate Chrome and whatever I do is just going everywhere. Come to me, come to the safe space. We can chat about it. We can talk it out. I can hopefully help you figure it out. So that's every week. It's usually about an hour, hour and a half on a Wednesday evening at 8:30. And yeah, any question is there. People can join in, show us their gorgeous faces. If they want to not have their face on there and just type into the chat box, they can. It's a closed Zoom call, basically. And then lots of business advice as well, advice about pricing, advice about boundaries, basically things I wish I knew at the beginning of my career. If I could have gone back and said to myself, babe, boundaries, where's your boundaries? So yeah, within the monthly membership, you get access to all the looks, all the new looks, all the like personal like development kind of business videos, and the safe space as well.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Everybody needs a safe space, and especially in business when we're looking for people that have been there and done it. And I have to say, I can't believe you've been in the industry 18 years, Shan. You look like 25 years old. So I don't know what to
take it. I would take it.
What time did you start in the nail industry? Oh my goodness. So let's talk about 2012 then, when you started your Instagram account. Because you've now got a massive following on there. So how did you, because you must have started there, it seems to me you started there just having fun, popping this on there, and you, as you said, doing lovely affirmations and positive quotes and just popping stuff on there, making people feel happy. So, but how did that evolve? How did you capitalize on the social media phenomenon?
Do you know what? I think I did a presentation about social media the other day, and I'm so passionate about this. And I'm so happy you've asked it, because I think it's such a journey and it's so polarizing for so many people. So many people have such a love-hate relationship with it. And I always say you have to be in it to win it. You know, you've got to be in it and be there. But I think it's changed so much over the years. I think sort of 2013, 2014, I probably felt like I had kind of a method that I would share with people and say, this is what I do. This is the kind of reach I can expect. These are the kind of likes I can expect. And I'm going to show you exactly what I do. And I reckon you'll get, reach from it. And now it's so different, isn't it? It's so different. And I think it's, Instagram, I'm mainly talking about because that's our main platform. It's a business, isn't it? So we're kind of following a business as it evolves as a business and trying to chase what Instagram wants us to do. And it can be really, really tricky. But I think the four things that I kind of focused on over the years are: one, focusing on what you can control, always. So always following people that inspired me. That's what gave me inspiration for my next work or my next posts, or made me want to run to my nail desk and get my new bits out, because every time I opened the app, it was a really positive place for me. So I feel like making sure you're mindful of who and what you follow is amazing. And it's definitely helped me on my journey, because I've never fallen out of love with it, because I'm excited to see what other incredible people are posting. The other one is just being unapologetically you. I think we've really noticed, and I was so scared at first. Joe Van, if he was here, he would be laughing because he can vouch for it. Remember, he said to me, I think it'll be really good for us to put your face out there. And I was like, why? Why do we need to put my face out there? Why can't it just be my hand and my affirmations? And he was like, because people buy from people and people want to see who you are and what you're like. You've not got to share your whole life. You've not got to put too much out there. But if people see your face, at least they know who they're talking to and who's writing these captions and who's making these posts. So that was really important. And like network, that kind of evolved into networking. I think networking is one of the best things that I feel you can get from social media. I've loved, it was all genuine. I loved 2013 Clawgasmic, where I would literally sit down with a cup of tea of an evening and be like, oh, who's this? Oh my gosh, these are amazing. I'm going to post those tomorrow. And oh my gosh, have you seen this guy? He's amazing. I'm going to post him, on Thursday. So being able to network and just reach out and tell people that they're amazing and be social on social media. Jovan always says that, to remember it's social. So put out there and tell people that they're amazing and be interactive with people. And remembering your reason why, I think, as well. You know, my why has never, you know, I'm so grateful for the followers. And it, if I'm honest, sometimes it freaks me out a little bit. I think that's why I'm like, oh, I don't know about putting my face out there all the time. Which I was like, no, do it. But, you know, my reason why has always been bigger than the following, the likes. You know, now it's, I just genuinely want to help people. I genuinely want to support people. I want people to believe in themselves. And if they're having a tough time, I want people to know that I've had a tough time too, and it's going to be all right. So my reason why now is to help. It's more than that. And then even before, my reason why was to create a positive space, you know, and with my business, Instagram and social media, my reason why was my clients and seeing that smile at the end of a service and knowing that I'd made that difference. And for the next 4 weeks, they're going to look down and they're going to be buzzing because of me. Like, that is what filled up my cup. So, you know, I love social media and all it can bring. But I think the more you focus on your why and you're unapologetically you don't get lost in the comparison trap, because you know there's no one that's ever going to be like you. It sounds so cheesy. Whenever I do interviews, I'm like, I sound like such a cheeseball, but I believe it to my core. The more you know that there's no one like you in the world, there never has been, and there's never going to be, then you're not going to waste your time comparing yourself to other people, because you know your why, you know your goal, and you're just you, I guess. So I think that's helped us.
I think that's absolutely spot on, because what you've basically said and what I'm really feeling and hearing here is your entire Instagram journey has been an authentic journey. You weren't, and some of it so authentic that you've had to be pushed into it. So Jovan said, look, I want a little bit of your face in there, humanize this, personalize it. And you're like, a bit like me, to be fair. You're like, do I have to put my face on it? Really? Unnecessary? But actually, Jovan was completely correct, because we do want to see the people that we're investing our time. You need the engagement. If you're going to invest your time, you want to see and feel the investment. You want to swim inside it. You want the engagement. We need the flow and the power that we share. But I love it. You sound really, really authentic. And I think, again, the idea that it's never been about the likes, because there's so much focus put on the likes these days. And actually, if you just focus on why you're there and what you're doing and what you want to share with the world, forget about the likes. I think the likes will come. On that theme then, can you give us some sound bites for, say, it's a nail technician who's sitting watching this and thinking, look, I still don't know how to get a strong, loud, interesting, visual, powerful campaign going. What would you say to somebody who's still struggling with that initial journey?
I would say, and this is, bear with me, this is going to sound a bit wild, stop looking on social media, go on something else and figure out who are you? What do you want? What do you want to create? What is the vibe you want to give? I'm all about vibes. What is the vibe you want to create? When people walk into your door, or when you walk, you know, because obviously we've got incredible mobile techs, people who have studios in their gardens or rooms in their houses, or people who are just absolutely bossing it and want to take over the world and have salons, you know, all these incredible things. But what is the vibe you want to create? What feeling do you want your clients to feel when they come to you? And like I said, is that really tranquil? Okay, then pick some colors, pick a vibe, you know, but do all of that before you go on social media. Then go on Pinterest, then go on Instagram, then get some visuals, take inspiration. If somebody's out there doing what you feel like you want to do, it's proof that it's possible. That's all it is. It just shows you that you can do it too. There's someone else out there doing it. Great, that means it's possible. I can do it too. Then put your own spin on it. Look at other salons. Look at, even within the nail industry now, I love that, like, we've got these incredible techs who are doing these flawless full cover you know, all they do is, not all they do because they do it incredibly well, but they focus on flawless full cover manicures. Figure out what you want to do, because again, the more you've got a stronger vision of what you want, a strong reason why, and then you lean into yourself, like those 3 pillars, that's like unshakable then. You know, when you have those days, which we all do, where it's hard and you post something and you're like, okay, that's Instagram is obviously not showing that, or that didn't do what I thought it was going to do. Or you pick up your nail brush and you just sit there and nothing creative's coming, or, you know, you just have those days where you're unmotivated. You've got those three things there that you're like, right, what am I going to do? And I do genuinely find, that's why I said it at the beginning, when I'm struggling the most with motivation, I don't look at social media and I step away from anything nails. And then I get my motivation from fashion or nature, or random as it is. Even yesterday, I'm downstairs doing Play-Doh with my 3-year-old, and I'm like, he has mixed that baby blue and that neon pink so well that it's made this dreamy lilac color. And I might need to make this for my nails tomorrow. Like, take a step back, recharge a bit, look around you, and just, yeah, sometimes there's so much noise that, like, you need to just focus on what you really want to create and then go to social media. Don't take in everybody else's, you know, opinions or ideas. Figure out what you really want.
Do you then have any pointers at all about frequency of posting? What would you have to say about something like that? Because I think that's quite important, isn't it?
Yeah. So I definitely think consistency is key. If you're finding it overwhelming, take a step back and come back. It is going to be there. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. You know, I've had conversations with people, but I can't not post because no, have a breather, come back. But consistency is key. I definitely find that the more regularly I post, the better my reach is. And I think finding out again what your community wants is key, because it's so different for every single one of us. You know, what you're posting has to relate to your audience. So, for example, for any nail techs who are watching, you want to be focusing on the fact that, think of all of your followers as one person. What ideal person have you got, and what do they want to see? Your client wants to see the work you do, maybe the stock you've got, your salon space, what a day in their life looks like of you, your beautiful face, the trending looks in your salon. Things like that gets your community kind of excited and bubbling and ready for your next posting. I would always post at the same time every day. And there is actually a little bit on Instagram. If you go to your insights, it will tell you your highest viewed time of the day. And then one thing that I found works is posting an hour before that time, because then if you post an hour before that time, after you've posted, always like your post yourself, hype yourself up, give yourself the first like and comment, because Instagram likes it when it sees interaction on your post. So I'll always comment underneath and then always reply back to people underneath your comments. You know, it's like, I always say, you know, it'd be like if you were in the street and someone complimented your shoes, you wouldn't just keep walking. You'd say thank you. You would respond, be sociable, be a real human, comment with real actionable comments, you know, real personality behind the comments. And yeah, being present in your stories always helps. There's so many different features now, so dabble in them all. Videos seem to be the thing at the moment, but like I said, obviously it is almost like we're chasing a business that's evolving. So I have heard rumbles that apparently pictures are coming back. So I think a lot of techs will be happy about that, because I know we all quite liked a picture, didn't we? You know, that's like our thing, you know, a nice visual, you know. So hopefully that's sort of due to come soon. But yeah, definitely consistency is key for sure. I think, like I said, you've got to be, the only way you know you're never going to get the reach you like or get any more followers is if you stop. Then it's a given. So you've got to be in it to win it. Don't let a bad day or a bad post or a bad moment make you feel like you want to stop, because then you're kind of standing in your own way. So just, yeah, consistency definitely is key.
So moving on to just moving into this area, because I'm quite excited about this idea. You've also extended your fantastic business model, Clawgasmic, into the podcast realm, which is not saturated, to be fair, in the nail industry. I know it's saturated in loads of industries, but the nail industry is not saturated. But you seem to be highly successful in this forum. So tell me, what topics have you covered? What people have you interviewed, and how often do you send out this podcast, and how can we find it? Tell us all about it.
So the podcast is like our newest little baby. We love it. So it's only been running for a year. And I guess in a way, without even intending to, it was, I loved interviewing techs before for the blog, like I said, at the very beginning, early stages of Clawgasmic. And then that kind of stopped, over a period of time. I was focused on my business, my salon business, and then mum life and loving that bubble. And then it actually was, when I was so kindly asked to be a columnist for Scratch, I loved it. And I loved having that Tech Talks section in it where I would interview techs and ask them, questions, how they got into it, things like that. And I loved it. And it sparked that back up into me again. And then during the time of me having some time off and being a mummy, I really got into audiobooks and podcasts, and I absolutely loved it. And then, it was, so not November just gone, the one before, I came upstairs and I said to Jovan, I'm going to start a podcast. And he was like, okay. And I was like, Anne, I'm going to impress you because I'm not going to do my usual thing of tapping into your brain and making you do all the tech for me. I'm going to figure it out. And he was like, come on, you can do this. So I was like, right, I'm going to do a course. I'm going to figure it out. And I remember going downstairs like, I've done it. So this is going to be good. So it's kind of really new, really fresh. I was so excited to learn all the technology, and it was really exciting to do something so different. And then, I said to Jovan, I think it will be an incredible way to offer support for people. I feel like I was so grateful and so lucky that I knew that when I took those risks at the beginning of my journey and I started up my salon, I had an incredible support system in Jovan, and my family and my friends and his family. And I know not everybody has that. And I think, one of the social media, I love it. And it's a highlight reel, as it should be, because it's our promotional tool. We're showing our best things. But how incredible would it be to create a place where we get to have real, authentic conversations with incredible people in the industry, people who truly inspire me, and find out about their journeys and how they started. And maybe they could pass on advice to people who are earlier in their journey. What do they do when they're struggling with motivation? What were their best ways of building and growing their clientele? Just really inspiring stories and positive nuggets that people can pass forward. And I think just a good positive way to start your week. They come out every Monday, like I said, and feel like you're part of a community without having to feel like you've got them, on your doorstep. We've got a whole podcast about how to build and grow your business without using social media, because I thought that was really important, because again, I love it, but don't put all your eggs in one basket. Like, there's so many other ways, and some of the quote unquote old school ways are amazing. That's how I built my business. Social media wasn't as much of a thing then. I think we used like Google search was one of them, and Facebook a bit, but Instagram wasn't really a thing till I was kind of already in it and rolling. So, being fierce, treating it like your baby, protecting it, going out, putting your voice out there, doing your leaflet drops, going to salons, and not salons, but shops in your local area, places where people are public facing, and asking them if you can leave leaflets in their staff room, going to your local hairdresser and asking if you can do a treatment swap. All these things were things that I used to go from start up to fully booked. So just for loads of information and good vibes. Hopefully that's the thing. I just want all the just positive ways to start your week. If you pop in Clawgasmic Nail Tech Talks, you can pop it into Spotify, you can pop it into Apple Podcasts, all the other main podcast search engines, and it will be there.
So, okay, so this has been really, really an inspiring interview. We've learned loads. You've given us lots of hot nuggets. So have you got a takeaway for us, please, Chantelle?
I would just say my biggest pet peeve through my journey is when people have said I'm just a nail tech. So to anyone listening, you are so much more than just a nail tech. You're a superhero. There are not many jobs where someone can walk into your door and you can make them feel a million times better than when they leave. We get to follow people on their journeys, engagements, weddings, be there for them in the downtimes as well. And you bring so much more to the world than that title of just a nail tech that I've had used at me before. So you are amazing. You can achieve whatever you put your mind to. And just go and smash it, and just know that you're amazing. And it's the most incredible career to be in.
I have to second that. Hear, hear. Okay, that's absolutely wonderful way to end a wonderful interview. So, Shan, thank you ever so much for joining me on this edition of Social Stars, and I'll see you all next time.
For more nail stuff, don't forget to visit glossarylive.com to find inspiration, trends, step-by-steps, and news. It's all about nails.